And so I'm all eyes and ears, Rabbi.
So I think, my friend Josh, that we might not realize that we are sitting on the solution. We're sitting in the midst of a very, very broken, fractured society, and we are sitting on the solution, my friend. We are sitting on the solution, and we gotta share it, because we've always had the solution. We've been maybe trying to promote the solution, but not well enough. And we have the solution to this problem. And the problem is the fault lies with me and with you. It's your fault, Josh. It's your fault, and it's my fault, and it's all of our faults. Because when you have racism, when you have disconnect, when you have brokenness in relationships and in society, the solution is always the Jewish medicine. The Jewish way to fix it is always to look within myself. How can I make it better? And the foundational Jewish idea is that what you're looking at right now, I might be finite, I might be physical, but I am not only finite and physical. My body is not much different than an animal, than a gorilla or an elephant, or right. My body's physical, has ego and desires and drives. My physical body is very physical. However, I have a trump card. I have a secret weapon, and that is that I'm not just animalistic. I'm not just finite. I don't end over here, right? I have a piece of the infinite. I'm a piece of the infinite. And therefore, I'm infinite, right? Because infinite is infinite. So therefore, I have a part of the infinite within me, a part of God within me. So if somebody looks at me like I'm just a person, a middle-aged white guy, so then that's very demeaning, very degrading, because really I'm not a middle-aged white guy. I'm a piece of the infinite. I'm a soul. I'm limitless. There's nothing I can't do. And if you look at me like I'm finite, that breaks me. And if you look at me like I'm finite, it's often because you're looking at yourself like you're finite. And if I look at myself like I'm awesome and I'm a piece of the infinite, then it's much easier to see you as a piece of the infinite. And like often we'll talk about finding your soulmate. Often when trying to find our soulmate, or when we're not able to find our soulmate, we're starting with the wrong place. The first step to finding your soulmate is finding your soul. Getting to know who you are, getting to know your awesomeness, getting to know how awesome you are, how unlimited potential I have, how great I could be. And then when I manifest that, and I meet you, I'm like, I don't see you. I see your essence. I see who you are. And that's like Harry Potter, right? Imagine if Harry Potter lived his life as a muggle. Here's a wizard. He was a wizard. And he's living his life as a muggle. That's very painful. I am a wizard. I am an infinite. I am part of the infinite. Maybe I can't do magic, but I can do magic. I could be awesome. And we need to sort of tap in to my essence. Who am I really? I am a piece of the infinite, and bring out in others as well. So if you see fractions, it's because we are responsible. We're responsible to rectify it by tapping into our own greatness and tapping into and therefore tapping into others' greatness. The reason why someone might hate somebody because they're finite, or because of the way they look, or how much they earn, or where they're from, what neighborhood they come from. The reason why somebody might hate somebody or dislike somebody or not feel comfortable with somebody is because you are different than me in a physical sense, in a finite sense. But if I realize that we're exactly the same in an infinite sense, we're both parts of the infinite. Right? My left arm never fights with my right arm. Even if I bang a nail I hit a hammer on my thumb, it's not going to fight with each other. Why? Because we're the same. We're all one. And that comes if I'm able to connect to me. Who am I at essence? Who am I really?
Your piece of God.
We got to share it. We got to share it and let people know that this is the answer. And I want to tell you something. If Corona teaches us, hopefully many things, but Corona can teach us that if in a week or two, the entire world can change based on a virus, the entire world can come to a screeching halt based on a virus, we can change the entire world based on a positive energy. We can be the opposite of Corona. Right now, today, we can be the opposite of Corona, and that's what the idea of the Torah. See, I want to tell you something. People think that sometimes people think that Judaism is about limiting my enjoyment. You gotta, limit the enjoyment. Don't indulge in the world so much. Not at all. The Torah is about maximizing enjoyment. Maximizing, the way you maximize enjoyment is where you enjoy something with your whole self. When I say my whole self, I don't mean just my body, my physical self. I enjoy something with my whole self with my spiritual self as well. So if I'm eating an apple or a good steak or something delicious, right? Instead of just my body enjoying it, I bring my soul into it. I make a blessing. I'm like, wow, thank you, God. This steak comes from God. And then I bring the infinite into my physical, so my body's enjoying it, my soul's enjoying it. Party. My body and soul, right? I'm going to hang out with friends. We're going, we're going motorboating. We're going to hang out on the lake, whatever, right? So I could do it as a physical body, just killing time, hanging out with the guys, or I could bring my soul along. Make sure to thank the lifeguard. Appreciate seeing the greatness in other people, the beautiful world. Give my soul a chance to soar, to party as well. So the ultimate awesome Jewish experience is where I party as a full expression of myself. Happiness is where I express my full self, not just my body, but I express my full self. And when we treat each other badly, it's because we are not seeing the greatness in others. We are not seeing the peace of God within every one of us, every single one of us in this entire world. The day you were created was the day God said, this world cannot go on anymore without this person. If you're on the subway, you're walking down the street, you see somebody, that person is a piece of the infinite, a piece of God.
But I have a question for you.
You go give him a hug.
I know, like I have a question for you. It's very easy to, to see greatness in people, when looking at them and seeing them do good. Like I love that. But how do you deal with that same mindset towards when you don't see good people? Like for example, like with everything going on, the rioting, the looting, hurting other people. You're seeing so much videos of this. How do you keep yourself in a very, controlled up here and, your relationship with the infinite in a way where it doesn't get to you? I love looking at the greatness to others. I think that's beautiful. And, I definitely, but like, what about the other side of it? How do you look at things when they don't look pretty? And when you know that, wow, that's a bad person.
So there's two ways, I think two reasons that everyone in the world is intrinsically at their essence, at their core, good.
Yes, I agree.
Because we're part of the infinite, we're automatically good. Everybody in the world, I would guess, I would assume when you're watching a movie, when you're reading a book, there's a good guy and a bad guy, we're all pulling for the good guy. We all want the good guy to do what's right, to be honest, to be truthful, to be faithful, to make the right choice. We're pulling. We're like, oh, we're hoping. We're holding onto our chair. Hope he does what's right. But when it comes to our own life, two things could happen. Number one is I'm so used to beating down my soul. I'm so used to not listening to my soul that my soul is sort of like an abused child. And like sometimes you go like to the supermarket, right, and a kid is having a tantrum, screaming and crying. That's actually a sign of a healthy child. It means that he has a healthy relationship with his parents, hopefully. Why? Because an abused child won't carry on because he knows if he does, he's going to get smacked or he's going to get, locked in the basement for 2 days, right? So he just sits there passively. Sometimes our souls are abused children, and we've abused them. We've put them down so much that touch. We're so over-identified with my body that I can't even get into touch with my soul. I don't even have a relationship with my soul. I don't even know my soul. So therefore, I am intrinsically good. Everybody's intrinsically good, but sometimes I could be so over-identified with my physical because I have never given voice to my soul that I don't have a relationship with my soul. I don't listen to my soul. So I do bad things because I'm not in touch with my soul. And that's our job, to show people that you're a soul, you're a wizard, you're a piece of the infinite. And the way we bring that out in others is by bringing it out in ourselves. You could start with others, by the way. If you can't feel it in yourself, you could just look at someone else. Who are they? Where's their life force? Who are they? What are their values? Where do they come from? What are their dreams? What are their passions? They're much more than what you see in front of you. They're infinite. So there's two reasons why a person might be doing bad things. Number one is he's beat down his soul, so he can't listen to his soul. And the other thing is that he's sort of been convinced that this is the right thing. He thinks that this is a good thing, right? Like so a person could get caught up in a society or in an environment where you think you're doing the right thing. And that's why it's beautiful to have the Torah, to have a guidebook of what is right and what is wrong. And in every situation, you could apply the Torah law again on what is right and what is wrong. But it is our job to model and display to the world how to be awesome, how to that you are awesome, and create a revolution of awesomeness, that we are a piece of the infinite. And we got to act like that. And when we see another person, like, whoa, there's a piece of the infinite. And after Corona, maybe even give them a hug. Like, whoa, can I get a blessing? And if we again, starting with ourselves, the famous story about Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, he said, I grew up, I wanted to change the world. I got a little older, he said, I can't change the world. I'm going to change my city. He said, I got a little older. He said, I can't change my city. I'm going to change my family. I got a little older. I can't even change my family. Let me change myself. And then I got a little older, and I realized when I changed myself, I changed my family, I changed my city, and I changed the whole world. And Corona, it's catchy. Positivity is catchy. If someone's having a bad day and you smile at them, you change the world. If your grandma's lonely and you text her, you change the world. If someone annoys you and you don't snap at them, you don't act on your animalistic urges, you change the world. If you see something bad happening, it's because we are not creating an environment where people realize their greatness. It's on us, each one of us, each of us, to bring out our own inner holiness, and then it will bring out that in others as well. There's a beautiful story about there's a rabbi. He passed away. He lived to over 100. His name was, I think, Reb Dov Koppelman. He had a rabbi at a school in Switzerland. They say a story about him. He was once walking through the school, and they were repairing a payphone. A while back, they had payphones. I don't know if you remember, right? And they had a payphone, and somebody vandalized the payphone, so they were repairing the payphone. And he walks by, he goes, "What's going on?" They said, "We're repairing the payphone." He said, "What happened?" He said, "Somebody vandalized it." So he said, "Why are you repairing it?" They're like, "Because we need a payphone." So he said, "How could you?" He said, "If somebody vandalized the payphone, it's our fault. Everyone in this community is at fault for creating an environment where it's okay to vandalize a payphone. And even if I'm not the one who vandalized the payphone, I contributed to this environment where vandalizing someone else's property is okay. And therefore, I am responsible." So again, we should, protest and, post on Facebook and do things that will hopefully create change in positive ways, obviously. But essentially, we have to know that the answer lies within each one of us. We have to create an environment where nobody would ever vandalize a payphone. We can create an environment where people feel so good about themselves, so holy, so pure, so awesome, that they would never vandalize anything. They would never discriminate on somebody by their color. That's ridiculous. There's a beautiful thought we shared a couple months ago when we read the Torah portion, but it's too good to not share now. There's a story in the beginning of the Torah where Abraham and Sarah are traveling. Perhaps you remember this from a couple months ago. If not, you should. And they're traveling, and they're about to go to a certain country where they're very bad reputation for being bad people. And as they're traveling, Abraham turns to Sarah and says, I now know that you're beautiful. I'm afraid they're going to kill me because they want to marry you. So what should we do? And they're planning on what to do to avoid Abraham being killed. But the commentators all ask the obvious question, what do you mean, now I know that you're beautiful? They were married. How could he not know that she was beautiful? Where were you? You didn't know. Why are you saying, now I know you're beautiful? It's a beautiful answer. What happened was Abraham, they were traveling, so he saw her reflection in the river. And he saw her reflection, and for the first time, he saw her as a physical. He said, wow, you're also physically beautiful. I never realized you were physically beautiful because I saw your soul the whole time. Every time I related to you, I saw your soul. I connected to your soul. I connected to your essence. You might be beautiful, but I didn't even realize that because I was connecting to your soul. So that's why Abraham said, now I see you're in reflection. I guess it didn't have mirrors in those days, but I see your reflection. He had never seen her physical reflection in the mirror, in the water. And he says, oh, wow, you're beautiful. That means, one second, if you're beautiful, that means you're physically beautiful. And in this country where they might be more hedonistic and they might kill me to marry you. And they that's the conversation with Abraham and Sarah. What was the idea? The idea is that Abraham looked at Sarah as who she was in essence. This physical body is not who I am. This physical body is just a small part of me.
Yes.
And it's so depressing. It's so limiting. It's so constricting when people look at me like this physical body. And I know I'm so much more. I'm so awesome. I have so much to give. I have so much talent. I have so much love. I have so much passion. I have so much beautiful values. And people judge me or limit me by the way I look, by my physical attributes. And that's so sad and frustrating. It's like imagine you go to imagine you're a NASA scientist, NASA astronaut, right? You're this talented scientist, and you know how to measure gravity and distance and stars and space, and like you've been studying you have so much to offer, and you put on this spaceship and you go into outer space with let's say 10 other astronauts, right? And it happens to be that you have a really nice spacesuit, right? And they keep saying, oh, wow, that's a nice spacesuit. Well, that's a really nice spacesuit. And all you're valued for is your spacesuit.
Spacesuit, yeah.
It's so depressing. Here, I'm a scientist. I have so much to offer. I have so much to give. People keep commenting on my spacesuit. And so whose job is it to bring out our essence? It's our job to bring out our essence, and it's our job to bring out each other's essence. We're one world, we're one family, and it's our job to bring out each other's greatness. So if there is strife in the world, my friends, it is our fault. And that's what the Torah, that's what the idea of the mitzvahs are. The idea of the mitzvahs are a workout regimen to bring out your soul. Say Shabbat. This idea of Shabbat. For 6 days, you're hustling. You're very finite. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to write reports. I'm trying to get ahead, as you said before, right? I'm trying to get my name out there. I can move up, right? You're hustling. When you're hustling so much, you can often forget that you're not just a hustler. You're not just a real estate guy, right? When you're working so hard to make it in business, it's very easy to get caught up that I'm a businessman. I'm a real estate guy. I'm an engineer. That's who I am. We have Shabbat to say, no, you're not. No, you are not. You are a piece of the infinite. You are awesome. So that's of all the mitzvot. I'm eating an apple. I make a blessing on the apple. So to say my body can enjoy this apple, but I want my soul to enjoy this apple as well. Right? I'm hanging out with friends. I have a good time, but bring out the spiritual energy as well within that. And all the mitzvot are 24/7. We're able to bring out the awesomeness within us, which would automatically bring out the awesomeness in the world around us. And
it's a beautiful point. I mean, I'm all about, getting greatness out of people, and the way you're describing how the way to prevent this from happening is, not only showing that to yourself, but showing that to other people and treating them not only, by their color, their, religion, their gender, whatever. You treat them like a piece of infinite, like they're special, and that they have something unique to them like no other human does.
And you know why you should?
Because that's the infinite way. That's the human way. That's the holy way.
Right. It's true. It's the right way. It's the only way, because the only reason not to is because we're forgetting who they are. Right. Imagine you meet a multi-billionaire who's got 30 companies and 20 cars and 5 houses. Right. And he's like real proud of himself. And you're like, hey, nice socks. Nice socks. You know who I am? Like, I'm so much more than my socks. Judging somebody by their physical self.
Well, it's like you said, and you always said. I remember when people say, who are you, or what do you do? Some people say, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer. You always rephrase it by, you're much more than that. You're a piece of the infinite. So whenever people say, what do you do, or something, you say, I'm a piece of an infinite, and make it in a very holy spiritual way, because everything that happens to you, good, bad, it's part of the process, and it's Hashem giving you, your journey.
100%. And that's our mission. Our mission is to train our physical self that we are, one of my classes in the past this week said, why is it so hard? He says, wouldn't it be great if we all saw the godliness within each one of each other? Like, wouldn't that be great? And I said to him, stop cheating. Stop asking for the easy way out. Yeah, of course it would be easier, but that's the challenge. The challenge is to see past what, this guy looks like a lawyer. To see past, he's not a lawyer. He's a soul. This guy looks like a gas station attendant. He's not a gas station attendant. He's a soul. He might work as a lawyer. He might work as a gas station attendant, but so what? That's just a tiny, tiny part of who he is. We need to value our own self, who we are as a piece of the infinite, and then see others that way. And that's a secret. That's and we really have a responsibility to bring that out to the world, to really start with ourselves and bring that out to the world, because, the world always needs it. It's just so much more obvious today.
Oh, 100%, Rabbi.
So what are we going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it? I mean, it's a thought, right? What could I do to prevent this stuff from happening? And I always think about is treat everyone, no matter their color, like I told you, gender, male, female, treat them with the most love, respect, and care. Like you say, like they're a piece of the infinite. Because you know what? I hate hatred. I hate, violence. When all this, you see looting and rioting. I feel like deep inside we're all meant to love each other, and and my goal is always, no matter who I come across, whoever I speak to, shake someone's hand, I always want to show that love to that human being and show them that I care about them and that they are something special.
When I first bought my house, you're 100% right, Josh. When I first bought my house in Michigan, I remember I was very excited to have my own house. Like, we lived in an apartment building all the years, and finally I had a house. So it was like, there was something cool about having the mailman come to my house, a special stop just for me. Like, whoa, like, usually in the apartment building, it's like boom, 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 right? Yeah. But like the house, like, whoa, we got a special stop every day with the mailman. Anyway, so and it was the springtime, and my kids and I were outside hanging out, playing, in the front yard, whatever. And whenever the mailman would come, actually it was a mail woman, every time she came, we'd say, hey, good morning. Like, my kids are really cute, and I'm really nice, and we're like, hey, good morning, how are you? Good afternoon, thank you so much. We were friendly and nice and chipper. And no response. Like she was always very sour, dour, and and unfriendly. So the natural thing was, okay, fine. So we stopped being friendly, and that was that. A couple weeks later, I was sitting there studying with my daughter, my oldest, Bracha, and we were studying the Mishnah in the Pirkei Avot, having Mekabelos Kol Adam Sefer Panim Yafos, to greet everybody with a pleasant countenance, smile. How are you? And I noticed there was no commentary that said, if they smile back. In other words, smile at everybody if they smile back. It doesn't say that. It says smile at everybody. And my own commentary, or I'm sure this is obvious, that if they don't smile back, they need it even more. In other words, the reason why we're smiling at somebody is not like a social contract of pleasantness, which it's that as well. But it's my responsibility to tell you you're a soul. You are a piece of the infinite. That's why I'm smiling. That's why I'm happy to see you. I'm greeting you like, hey, good morning. How are you? Thank you so much. You're awesome. So we doubled down, my kids and I, my wife, when she was there as well, like hey, good morning. How are you? Thank you so much. It didn't do much, just to be honest. It didn't do much. And actually, one time she needed the bathroom, and she chose us, which I thought maybe was an indication that.
Wait, what did she do?
She said, "Hey, can I use your bathroom?" So I thought that was an indication that maybe she felt more comfortable with us because we were, being friendly. But I think that's a good insight in that our obligation to bring out the greatness in others, to bring out the soul in others, and that's our mission as Jews. We're ambassadors. We're the light. It's our job to bring light into the world. The ambassador to France, right? If he's sitting here in America, he gets drunk and he does something wrong, or he commits a crime, he makes all the French people look bad. And as a Jew, as wearing a yarmulke or just being Jewish, it is our responsibility to Hitler was right when he said the Jews have inflicted two wounds on mankind: circumcision on the body and conscience on the soul. We have circumcision, and conscience is that part of us that says you can be better. You are awesome. You are special. You're unique. You are wonderful. You don't have to be a monkey. You don't have to connect with your animalistic side. You are not a horse. You are not an elephant. You are a piece of the infinite. Yes, we have an animalistic side. Yes, we sometimes act in a way that is, or physical urges, but we also have a spiritual side, and that's what we have to allow ourselves to connect to and help others connect to as well. And that's what our mission is in this world.
I mean, I love how you said, our job is to bring greatness out of others and bring light into the world. Wow, powerful.
Yeah, I mean, this is your religion, my friend. I didn't make this up. This is foundational, and it's fun to have the solution. I have to tell you, it's fun to have the solution. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do other solutions, whatever works. I don't know exactly what will work in this situation, but I do know that the answer is to see people for who they are, see people for their greatness, and certain take actions, posting positivity, posting things, and going to peaceful protests. That is whatever is healthy and correct to do in for the given problem. But the answer is always that to see people for who they are, because that's the reality. That's a reality of life, is that you are awesome. We are awesome. We have tremendous potential, but we often get caught up in the finitude of life, where because of the daily grind, and maybe I had a hard day and I got into a fight with my roommate, and because of life, I sometimes forget who I am. And we need to grab ourselves and grab others and say, you are special, you are awesome, and sort of connect in that way.
Powerful. What a good, this was a powerful Torah lesson. Because because I'm always in my mind, when I heard about this news, it made me angry inside. It really did, with the hatred and the violence, and like in the way you said it, that it's our responsibility to make sure this stuff doesn't happen again. It's our responsibility to prevent this every single day, the way we treat others, the way we act towards others, the way we smile. And it just shows how each human being out there has the power to really change the world. It really do. It really does.
100%. That is our mission, my friend. Let's not shirk it.
No. Nope.
Okay, Josh. Thank you so much for hanging out here.
Thanks, Rob. Could we do it again next week?
Are you kidding? For sure. So what's today? Today is Wednesday. Wednesday, 6:30.
6:30. Let's do it. Wednesday, 6:30.
Awesome.
Rabbi.
And how's the Shabbat going? Are you doing you're still doing that with your family?
Yeah. Well, my mom, we light the candles. It's beautiful. The candles are beautiful. We have dinner together. It's a great time.
Beautiful. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. So keep it up. We're proud of you.
All right, Rabbi. Thank you so much for your time.
All the best, Josh. Take care.
You got it. Take care.